For those of you who don't know, I came from mainstream Christianity, more part of the Methodist faith, and I was raised to not like anything a part of the church. In all reality, I kind of downright hated the church and anybody associated with it. But what essentially brought me to the church, there's many ways and factors that brought me to the church, but essentially what brought me to the church and made me decide to get baptized was the fact that as soon as I stepped into a Latter-day Saint chapel building, even onto the grounds, was the very first time in my life that I had felt the Spirit of God. And never before. I went to church as a kid. I had explored other faiths and had not felt the Spirit of God whatsoever. I saw a lot of kind people, but to me they were only being kind just to get me to come to their church. That's what I took from it. They weren't being genuine. They weren't being genuine, loving, and kind as what the Savior commands us to be. And the more I study from the Bible, Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, and Pearl of Great Price, and the more I apply the principles that are in that book, the closer I am to Christ. The closer I get to God, the closer I get away from the darkness of this world. I willingly chose to join the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints because I had found God's church. Now let me just make this perfectly clear that anybody who joins this church does not join it because it's going to be easy. We do it because it is true. That we feel God's Spirit when we read from the Scriptures, when we go to church, when we communicate with one another with righteous things. Righteous and pure things. When we go out and serve others, we feel the Spirit. We feel God's presence with us. And that's essentially why I joined the church. It's because the very moment I stepped foot into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for my very first church service was the very first time I have ever felt the Spirit of God. And my connection connection with God has only gotten stronger since I was baptized.